Hi, hey, my name is Timothy. I go by DJ Timo here on YouTube. This is going to be a first for me. I work as a delivery driver, and from time to time I find myself kind of thinking about things, wanting to talk about them. I never really write things down because obviously I'm driving, so I have this idea. What if I just record myself just talking? It could be something cool. It could be something that I scrap and you'll never see this video. But this is a first for Timo Car Talks. So, discourse around role-playing games has become very diluted, I have found, with a group of people who want to find the best RPG, and I've never found that particularly interesting. It's not about finding the best RPG ever. There is no one good, best RPG, because it doesn't exist. And I'm talking about tabletop, by the way, tabletop RPG specifically. When I look online nowadays, there's always the talk about, well, D&D, while good, isn't good enough. And I'll agree. There are quite a few issues with Dungeons & Dragons, especially the company that owns it. But I wouldn't say that they deserve to be actively hated, right? Like, in the way that they have been. So, WotC don't care to talk about all the drama. Hasbro, sure, you can hate them, I don't really care, right? My big problem is that D&D is still a good system. I enjoy playing Dungeons & Dragons, those 2014, 2025, 3.5. But the problem is, what I'm seeing in the discourse right now is Pathfinder, the better version, or Daggerheart, the D&D killer. And it's like, who is saying this unironically? And it's a good amount of people. And what I don't understand is that I enjoy some parts of Pathfinder. I enjoy some parts of Daggerheart after looking at it, not extensively, mind you. I haven't actually played it yet. But after looking at it, I think I might enjoy it, right? But it's the same thing with any tabletop system. My psychology on this, or I guess my belief on this, is there is no perfect RPG system. It doesn't exist, right? I gotta know. It doesn't exist. There is no one best TTRPG. In my mind, what you should try to do, especially if you're running a game, is find a game that you really, really enjoy, something you can get into, just have fun playing, and play that. You shouldn't have to deal with all the random discourse around which one's better than the other. There's so many issues with this system, so you should never play it. Just because a system has issues doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy yourself playing it. And I can agree that there are issues with Dungeons & Dragons, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna stop playing. I can agree that there are issues with the philosophy of Wizards of the Coast right now and Hasbro, but I'm not gonna stop supporting a game I love. I have spent so much time learning the system just because I care about it and I like playing it. And I'm not gonna stop just because a couple people think it's bad. And it's the same thing with any other RPG that I've enjoyed. There was one that came out called Everyday Heroes. It's another D20 system similar to D&D. I liked some of its systems better than D&D, but it's all about creating the typical, like, action star, modern day heroes that you'll see in A good example would be, Die Hard. The main character in that movie, whose name I cannot remember at the moment, could be made in the Everyday Hero system. Now, as it turns out, the company behind Everyday Heroes kind of was ass, but Everyday Heroes is still a good system, and I probably will use it again at some point. I just haven't been able to. Right? So it's not about the company. It's not about which one's better. It's about having fun with a system that is available. I find it ridiculous, right? Why do we have to fight over which one's better when we could just play the games? Just have fun. Don't get all political about things. Start yelling at each other about which one's better. Let's just play the games and have fun with each other. Have a fun time. I don't want to sound like fucking I forget the name again, but Travis. I don't want to sound like Travis McElroy, right, saying that. But that is kind of the essence of the TTRPG systems. It's a group project all the time with tabletop RPGs. It's called interactive storytelling for a reason. So I really don't get why we have to continuously yell at each other about such random bullshit, right? Anyways, I don't know. I was just thinking about this, and it's like, it's so ridiculous seeing all this discourse, especially now that Dagger Parts come out. And I've had my own issues with the Critical Role community because of how, let's just say, radical they are about certain things. But, you know, I still like Critical Role. They're great people. They have made a great show. And I can enjoy it from time to time. Now, granted, I can't really follow their campaigns. I'm not great at watching a 6-hour actual play every week, right? But they still made a great product. I enjoy the world that they've created, and overall, I think it's probably one of the best fully fleshed out worlds that has come out, up there with Spire from Dimension 20, and some of the others actually that I can't quite remember. But the world of Critical Role, which again I'm blanking on the name because I'm in the car and I also have to focus on driving. But these worlds are incredible, and they're up there with the greats, right? Matt Mercer, Brendan Mulligan, both of them have created such expansive, cool worlds with such great ideas. Same thing has happened for Ed Greenwood with the Sword Coast and almost the entirety of the Forgotten Realms, right? So, I don't know. Everyone put, up until recently, Dungeons & Dragons was the TTRPG, and even then, I was like, well, it's not the best, right? There is no best, because it's not a competition. They're games. They're systems. And what I find even more interesting is that you can edit the systems, right? If you're running a game and you don't like a certain system, change it. Tell your players, obviously, but change it. That is something that is fully allowed. The DM's guide is not a rule book, it's guidelines. It is something to tell you, hey, here is the system we've created, but you are the person who is running it. You are the person who decides what things mean. If anything is up in the air, if there's any ruling that is unclear, you decide what it means. It is up to the DM. GM, whatever the term for the game is. And I've wanted to say this for such a long time, and I've wanted to make videos on it, but I'm not like a video essay guy. I participate in debate, I enjoy debate, and I participate in discussions. I enjoy discussions. I like to learn new things. But the discourse, the discussion, and the debates around TTRPGs are so ridiculous. Because it's not a competition, right? I don't think it needs to be a competition. Recently, I've been playing a game of City of Mist, and I have my own problems with that system, and some of my friends know, but I don't want to do the negative thing right now, when I've been talking so positively about a system that a lot of people don't enjoy. So knowing that it's a system a lot of people do, I would say that City of Mist is one of the most creative uses of a TTRPG system that I've seen in a long time. Because you make your own choices of what you're able to do. Which I find interesting, for sure. But I've also told my friends I like to use strict systems creatively rather than strictly use creative systems. But even still, it is fun. If you're with the right people, any RPG can be a lot of fun. Same goes for things like I played Rapscallion a while back, which is a pirate-based D6 system. Pretty fun. I would say I have very few issues with it, but the issues are a bit larger scale, especially the system around the boats, which more so is just something that is personal preference, so it's not really up to me to say that it's bad. I just personally don't enjoy it as much as other systems. And that's the way that I wish people would talk about it. It's not the worst thing. It's personal preference for the most part for a lot of these things. Like recently, a video came out on one of my favorite channels of all time, XP to Level 3. Which, by the way, please do that in your Dungeons and Dragons games. Oh my god, starting at level 1 is a slog. But XP to Level 3 put out a video about the battle map system in Dungeons and Dragons. Specifically, Square Grid, which I have run, and I similarly have an issue with diagonal movement and diagonal combat, much like he has an issue with in the video. Hex combat doesn't really fix it, but he brought up something that I use now, which is specifically non-tile-based combat. What do I mean by that? Well, rulers. You use a big old ruler, and you do that with movement. You do it for movement, you do it for ranges, you do it for eyeballing how far a spell or weapon can fire. And then you just use those, the spell. I have them. It's the things that Matt Mercer uses and Bradley Mulligan uses to show the area of effect of certain spells. And I personally have been enjoying it so far. I don't use it for all my games because some of my games were designed with grid maps in mind. But for some of my games, I do use that system now. So I am glad that XP to Level 3 made that video. But he makes it very obvious that it's not really a problem if you enjoy the grid system or the hex system, because it's not really a problem. If you prefer it a certain other way, then sure. And that's something that I recently watched a video on, which is you shouldn't pull your opinions from YouTubers. Even even me, if you want to disagree with me, go for it, right? I'm not like the end-all, be-all king of the idea of TTRPGs. You can disagree with anything I'm saying, right? I will say, right, I have been victim to being the guy who pulls some of his opinions from YouTube, which I'm trying to get better at. Constantly trying to get better at. It is something that I think stemmed from thinking that I'm not smart enough to make my own opinion on certain things. But, you know, it's something people do, and it is a bit annoying, but I'm not about to judge you for it. It happens, right? You see someone who you think makes a good point, and you want to kind of use their opinion for yourself. As long as you agree with it, I don't really think that matters as much. Anyways, all that being said, right? I think the tabletop discourse is very weird right now, and it's why I'm glad people like XP to level 3 does it more for comedy. Like, he talks about all these RPGs not to like, well, he does criticize them, but it's never to like bash the RPG itself. He still plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he kind of made fun of Pathfinder combat in one of his recent videos, but even then it's like he sees some of the merit in Pathfinder, I'm sure. I do agree, it does take a lot of math for Pathfinder. But you know, if you disagree with anything that I've said in this video, that's fine. Most of this is personal stuff. And this is really what this system of video was designed for me at least, was to kind of talk about things without having to worry about, you know, scripting out an entire video and doing a bunch of research. It's not about that, right? It's just me rambling in my car while I drive to the next person I have to deliver to. And that's something I think not enough people do. Talking while focusing on I do that kind of thing. Talking while focusing on something else makes it so that you can give honest opinion without being super, you know, without being super nebulous about what you mean. You're not protecting anyone's feelings by lying about your opinion. Unless your opinion is actively harmful, I don't think there is a problem with opinions. But I think for now, that's kind of where my opinion stands. TTRPG Discourse is, well, dramatic. There's a lot of drama around it, right? And I think that's because it happens online. The online spaces that it happens on are designed for drama, for that kind of discourse. And, you know, I'm just kind of tired of it, because it's a community effort to do RPGs and enjoy RPGs. So when we split that community by being super high and mighty about what system to use, well, you're just injuring the community. You're making it harder to join the community for people who are looking at it from the outside. You're making it harder for people to find an RPG that they might absolutely love playing, because you're saying that, well, it's one of the bad ones. Which I fundamentally disagree with. I am of the opinion that any RPG can be perfect if you play it, change it to your liking, But obviously that's not always an option. There's a lot of discourse around that, and there's all the stuff about there's all the stuff about being a player in a system that you don't like playing. But at that point, if you're not talking to your game master about that kind of thing, well, I think you should go talk to your game master about that kind of thing if you're not having a good time. But it's not really my place to say for sure what the truth is, right? There is no correct answer here. And I'll never say that there is. Because there isn't. Really, the correct answer is just find something that you enjoy. Overall, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Because I am not a smart person, nor am I really a good person, even. Sorry, my recording stopped. I'm not really a good person either. I wouldn't say that. I'm just kind of a person. I exist. I am. That's the end of that sentence. I am. Hopefully, you can come away from this video with this one thing, if anything at all. This one thing. You're talking to someone and they express an interest in an RPG. Never, ever, ever go, oh, the one with this list of issues. Instead, if you know about it, say, oh yeah, and then list some of the positives. I have had that issue before where I immediately become super negative about systems that I don't personally like. But it's not about that. If someone shows a genuine interest in an RPG, you should be trying to help them find it, trying to help them really see the good in it. If they think that they genuinely enjoy it, or if they know that they genuinely enjoy it, but they don't know how to express it, well, that's fine. Never say that they're wrong for liking it. Anyways, I think that's it, because I'm nearly at my destination. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through, that is an incredible honor. If you're watching while washing clothes or, doing dishes, hey, I've done the same. This is a great kind of video to do that for. This will take minimal editing, so hopefully it will be out around the time that I make it. Currently, it is June the 24th. But that's it. I want to thank you again for watching. And if I do it again, I'll hope that I make the next one just as good as this one. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time. DJ out.